Mamas. It's time for Your Lane with Coach Trishana.
Yeah, it's time to empower, educate, and encourage your women to motivate you through whatever you've been going through. We can talk about it. We ain't passing no judgment. So don't be ashamed. It's all the same. Stay in your lane. Your lane. It's whatever your real life looks like. Stay in your lane. Come out the dark and don't be ashamed. Your lane. Let's have a conversation on what we face every day. Tune into Your Lane Talk Show. It makes us feel good just to know we're not alone. No more will we feel isolated and cast aside. I want you to come out the dark. Just don't be afraid of your heart. So don't be ashamed. It's all the same. Stay in your lane. Your lane. It's whatever your real life looks like. Stay in your lane. Come out the dark and don't be ashamed. Your lane. Let's have a conversation on what we face every day. It's Your Lane Talk Show with Coach Trish Hannah.
Good evening and welcome everyone to Your Lane Talk Show with Coach Trish Hannah. I am just so happy to be in your presence this afternoon. Wow, this show is packed. I don't know if you've been following between last week and today. Lots and lots and lots and lots of things that we have to offer you. Lots of information, lots of insight, and we're all excited here to do just that. We will be discussing this day our hair health with a few phenomenal women, and they're just going to be going from back to back to back to back. So I want to get straight into it. Your Lane episode 15 is brought to you by Johnson & Johnson, distributed by Lowe's Wholesale, Airborne Freight and Cargo Services, John's Shoe Store and Accessories, Family Medicine Center, and Skin Solutions Day Spa and Salon. Ladies, you're due for a spa day. Skin Solutions Day Spa and Salon is a serene retreat that is designed to be your relaxation destination. They are committed to give you personalized service in a clean, relaxing sanctuary, whether you spend 1 hour or the entire day. Their services include skincare and facials, waxing, manicures and pedicures, and massage services for individuals and couples. Skin Solutions Day Spa and Salon is located in Cable Beach, just 2 doors west of Bahama. Visit their website at www.skinsolutionsbahamas.net for more information. So today's episode is entitled Hair Health and Restoration. My predictions of emotions today for this episode are 90% serious aha moments, 5% laughter, and maybe 5% teardrops. And I say 5% teardrops because this is, once again, is a touchy subject. Not everyone be able to agree with certain things that may be said pertaining to hair because they've experienced it. You know, everything with hair loss isn't something that you can actually joke about all the time. Some people, it's still a trigger for others. And so we're going to be extremely sensitive to that, yet still try to allow it to be an enlightening show, right? So you can view us on Facebook on Your Lane Life Coaching's Facebook page or Star 106 FM's Facebook page, or you can listen to us on channel 976 on cable. You can also view past shows on YouTube. Look up Coach Trishana. From there, you will view the rebroadcast from the very first episode we've ever done up until last week. I'm inviting my audience to feel free to call in at any time throughout the show. The numbers to call, write this down. Y'all should know this by now, right? 328-8164, 328-8164. And I can tell you why. You also want to write this down because I have with me, ta-da, something from Hair's the Secret. If you guys follow me on Facebook, Your Lane Life Coaching, you would see the actual hair unit that is displayed and made available, so you can actually see how the hair looks. It's a 16-inch, obviously natural virgin hair that was done and custom made by Hair's the Secret. And you can go on to any of her social media accounts, HAIR''S THESECRET. So you can find out how you're going to win this particular unit today. All right. Joining us for Table Talk is Angel Adderley.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, Angel. How are you?
I have not been more fabulous.
Okay, you look fabulous.
Thank you,
Thank
madam.
you so much for
Thank
coming.
you. Thank you for
So,
having
Angel, let's just get straight into it because the show was so heavy today. I want to go straight into your hair journey. I ain't even asking. I want you to start talking. Tell me a little bit about yourself and tell me how you got to wherever point it started from to where you are now.
Let me first by saying good afternoon, Bahamas, and thank you, Trish, for allowing me to share on such an awesome platform today. I'm excited. I think I'm going to bring that 5% of laughter because
Bring it.
that's how I feel about my journey now. My name is Angel Adderley, like Trish Hannah said. I'm a mother and wife, mother of two phenomenal boys, and married to Mr. Baron Adderley. I won't get into all of that about myself. I would like to get right into my journey with hair loss. It was shortly after I had my eldest son, some almost 22 years ago, was when I realized, or when my beautician at the time realized that I was experiencing some hair loss in the crown, a small area. At first, I said the woman didn't know what she was talking about. I couldn't see it because I guess I didn't have the eye for it.
Right.
I didn't feel anything. Everything was fine. Fast forward to a few years later, after weaving and braiding and all of the other harsh things that us, especially Black women, do to our hair, my hair loss was realized. It's still not very, very serious. I felt, as a young woman, we had more than enough things to cover the hair loss. We had the weaves, we had braids. Back then, we used to take coloring and just dye that spot as deep black as you can.
Of course.
It wasn't until Trish, I would say about 7, 8 years ago, when I realized, okay, this is progressing and I think I have a problem. In 2015, I thought I was ready. Okay. And I shaved my head. That was right before the movie, The Black Panther.
Okay.
And I shaved my head and I felt liberated. But my eldest son knocked that down quickly. He was almost 15 at the time,
Right.
and was not feeling that. Mommy, no, please. No, mommy, no, please don't do it, mommy. And I understood. I understood how he felt, and I felt bad for the way he felt about this bold move that I took. And so I wore that shaved head for about 4 hours, honestly. And the following day, got a unit, and I wore a unit ever since. And after wearing the unit, shortly after shaving my head, I realized that I used the fact that he wasn't ready as a crutch. I think I wasn't ready or accepting of my issue. And so when he said that he just didn't want me to do it, I was happy that I had this to hold on to. The fact that, I can embarrass my son. So let me find another alternative until I figure out what to do with my hair loss. And so I went back to units. And Trish, can I tell you, I never liked wearing them. I never liked the process of removing it and putting them on. I don't know why. I can't explain, but I just never liked wearing them. And so a year after me shaving my head, and growing it out a little bit, I said, okay, let me take it down again and I'd bleach it. So 2017, January 1st, I came out with a new look, a new me. This bleached and low haircut. And every 2 weeks, I bleached that hair, girl. It had to be platinum. It had to be white. It have to be right. So every 2 weeks, I would bleach my hair. And that tore the little that I had on the
I can
crown,
imagine.
it tore the rest of it out. And fast forward, Trish, I wore that for about 2 years until I couldn't cover the area anymore. And I said, okay. At home, I like to look a certain way. So I would always wear a turbine
Right.
with my camisoles. And I didn't like that. You know, if the doorbell rang and I didn't have my turbine on, I
You have
had
to
to
rush
run
and
and
put it
put.
on. Yeah.
I said, you know, I'm teaching my kids how to accept themselves,
Mm-hmm.
accept however it is that God made you, but yet I am not accepting this issue that I have. And so it was last year I was sick. I had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the 16 days that I lied on my bed, there was just a lot of things that that just, I decided, look, this is it. This is who I am. I'm an alopecia goddess, and
Okay.
I am going to rock my baldness. And it was right
Woo.
after I felt better. I got up, I spoke to my husband about it because, you know, I always had this feeling that I can't be attractive with bald head.
Mm.
You know, men just ain't feeling a bald-headed woman. And I asked him for his honesty. And he said to me, Angel, of course I would love you to have hair. That's a fact. You know, I would want my wife to have hair, but I don't love you any less without it. And I say, okay, God, I'm ready.
There you go.
And I took the hair off, and it was, I think, August 15th that I posted on Facebook. I did a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that thing was just becoming aware of this problem that I have, accepting it, and I was just willing to grow with it. And in me posting that pic on Facebook was when I realized that we had a community of
course.
alopecia goddesses.
Yes.
And I said, okay, God, this is my platform. This is where I get to motivate,
Yes.
encourage, and I'm going to help these women. They don't have to go bold like me because this is a process. I realize that. But I am going to love on them because it's
Regardless.
important that they feel loved. Because it's hard. I mean, for everyone, it wasn't as easy as it was for me. So I took that and I ran with it. Listen to me, Trish. The inbox was filled. My WhatsApp was filled of women, you know, just going through this issue that I have.
Awesome.
That's my story.
Listen to me. I congratulate you just for that bold movement, for that
Thank
step
you.
forward,
Yeah.
and for just being who you are and accepting who you are. I am grateful that you're able to share that not only with your family but with the world. You know, about, you know, it's okay to, yeah. One of the things that I wanted to tell people at the end, because I do have a challenge moment, is to accept who you are and to know that your hair does not define you.
It's a beautiful
All right.
thing.
One of the reasons why I was so adamant about doing this show is because a few years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, I went to a salon, and I'll try to say this as quickly as possible. And this lady, she's been doing my hair for years. Okay. And something, and I don't want to speak badly about her or anything in any way,
Okay.
but something about her just relocating. She was relocating wherever she went. I was going wherever she was.
Right.
So it really didn't dawn to me that, hey, is it, what was her reason for always moving? I just knew that she was I was accustomed to what she was doing, and I was used to it. And so here it is at this particular day. I remember it was a Monday morning. I called her in and I asked if she can relax my hair and put some weave in it, extension in. Okay. And so, listen, I don't know. I can't make any excuses for myself. I honestly can't. But I do know that she did not use a base for my hair before she put the relaxer on it. I know
Okay.
that for a fact. And secondly, as you know, as Black people, when we put relaxers on our hair, we want it to stay a little longer so it could take.
Of
All right.
course,
So
it
that
has to be bold
so that
and
was
straight.
the other issue.
Right.
And furthermore, even as when she did that, and I'm noticing her other colleagues just looking at me and staring, and I'm just saying, la 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 la, minding my own business after she had already washed out everything. And not only did she do that, but she also bonded it, row it down and then sewed it in. So that was already it was tight, All right. With my hair was, the scalp was pink because it was burnt and raw. And she put the braids in it. Well, not braids, but she braided it so that she can put the weave in it. Right. And this is actually the first time I'm actually saying this, because I've never really, I guess, my husband and my best friend, my close friend, my husband is my best friend, my husband and my close friend knows this. So what happened is, when I was ready, I was wondering why it was taking me, like, my scalp just kept on itching. I couldn't keep the hair in for about a week. Good. That was already $100 and something that she charged to do it. And so I asked my sister. So of course my sister knew too. My sister to loose the hair out for me, and as she was loosing my hair out, I just see these bulks and bulks and bulks of hair coming out, not from the sides or the back, but just like a little from the crown area. Okay. Yeah, stylist. So, and as she was doing that, I was crying. And not only that, then I noticed that even with my scalp, because of the burns that I could feel, I'm sorry to be gross, everyone, but the scalp was very thick. I know it wasn't dandruff, but it was something like the thick. I will have a dermatologist to tell me exactly what that is. I'm sure it's called dermatitis or something based on all of that was happening. And I was depressed for at least a month before I actually said, I need to do something about this. I showed it to my husband, and thank God for his sensitivity towards me. I went to a dermatologist and so he's like, okay, we're going to give you some stuff. We're going to give you some oral medicine to get rid of all of the dermatitis or whatever from the burning in the scalp, this and that, whatever. And then we're going to put some shots. Can you imagine getting your hair, needles literally placed inside your scalp? 1, 2, 3, I think three different sessions. I didn't even go to the last one because it was just too much for me. It was burdensome for me. And my self-esteem just went down the drain, so, the last thing he told me was, do not put chemicals in your hair and any more relaxers in your hair ever again. So I went natural for 5 years. And so the natural styles that I had was able to cover up, the spots or whatever have you. But I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it. It so happened that we're going to take a break real quick and then we'll get back to it as soon as I'm done.
Absolutely.
Hello, my Facebook audience. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yes,
today
Coach Trish
Hannah
is confessing
how may I help you today?
her balls at the front for the very first time.
Sir.
I didn't
How may I
even
help
consult
you,
my
sir?
husband before I did that. I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. But I'm most certain that he knows exactly, when I say what I say, I know why I say it. But this is just to say, hey, we all go through things. You never know what people are going through. You never know obstacles that people have to face. And when people use extensions and when they use different units and stuff, we don't know why, because it could be other reasons too. It could be because of chemotherapy. It could be because of just persons not really interested in their natural hair for whatever reason. They may have a low self-esteem. They may feel as if wearing an extension will make them look more beautiful or to enhance their beauty, so people have various reasons as to why they do what they do. And I'm grateful that you were able to share the story. So I'm going to share the story. I'm going to wrap up with you, and then we're going to go right into our dermatologist so she can actually explain, the situation.
Exactly. Okay.
All right. So while we're waiting, I want to know, your husband, how was his posture in all of this?
Like I said, he rocks. It took me a longer time accepting that he was able to still see me as a beautiful woman with a bald head. I'm telling you, I think our last heart-to-heart was last year before I went bold. When I asked him to be honest and upfront, and he said, yes, Angel. Of course I would love to see you with a head of hair. But if you don't have the hair, I don't love you any less.
Right.
And his thing to me is always that whatever I wear, whatever I do, to do it with confidence.
Absolutely.
And that I'm not short of at all, Trish.
Clearly. And you're rocking it well. Welcome back. So, I mean, it's not about me. It's about Angel. I don't know how I get to be talking about my story for so long. But of course, I want to wrap up by saying, Angel, thank you once again. Thank you for just rocking. Thank you for making it happen. Thank you for allowing people like myself. I'm not ready yet. I have a cone head. Okay.
Listen, you will know when you're ready, Trish.
I'm not ready yet.
You will know when you are.
But it's going to be pretty soon because I'm really tired, to be honest with you, with when I have to. Well, the good thing about it is I don't use glue with it. So just put it on, just take it off when I get home.
Okay.
Just like, you know, us women, when we're ready, we take off. We take
Right.
off.
The apparatus.
Right, we take that off. Then we take this off and we just throw ourselves on the bed.
Right.
All right. For those who are not watching, y'all missing some stuff. And so it took me a while to get used to the weave thing, but I liked it.
Okay.
Before all of the weave thing, I had the natural hair, I had the twist, I had the afro, I had everything going on. However, I had to use a bandana around that area because I was not obviously confident enough to. And here it is with me, this thick hair, and then this spot here is So that's what's been going on. I couldn't deal with. I spent many, even up to probably maybe a year or two ago, whenever I would wash my hair myself, I took very good care of my hair, by the way. I used aloes and all those other things to help enrich it, natural products. And every time I would wash my hair, I would be in the mirror and I'd just start crying.
And you know, Trish, I tell you that I've never had those moments.
No?
And I've never had the moments of feeling sorry or depressed as I went through my journey. And that is important for all of my alopecia goddesses to understand that your journey is different, his journey is different, her journey is different. I've never had, and that's why I think it is so important for me that I love on the women that are experiencing this. Some may never rock a bald head. Some may always rock the units, and that's okay.
Yeah,
that is okay. But for me, it was in becoming who I am was when I'm a mother who's always teaching. Listen. I have two deeply melanated sons, gorgeous boys. Okay, so I am teaching my sons every day to love the skin that you're in, embrace your blackness. So how is it that I'm telling them this and I'm not embracing this?
What's going on?
You know, and I think the most beautiful glow comes from a woman that accepts the things that she cannot change.
Absolutely. That's one of my friends.
And so I applaud my alopecia goddesses that can rock a ball head. And for those that cannot, it's okay. You walk this walk as slow as you choose. But I want you to know that you are still wholesome.
Yes.
You are still beautiful.
Yes.
One day, you'd come to know more. You'd become more of who God has called you to be. But just one day at a time.
Right.
Just one day at a time.
So could I say that those would be your closing words? Or is there anything that you'd want to tell those who, because it may not be alopecia per se, it could be other, just thinning edges. Some people are insecure with thinning edges.
Whatever it is, and I'm learning every day, and I tell myself this every day, to just learn to accept who we are. Imagine if the world was just white, everybody looked alike. It would be boring.
It would.
We are all unique individuals, and just accept who you are, what you are, and whose you are. Listen, embrace the life that the good master has gifted you with.
Amen.
Even if it's with a bald head, it's still beautiful.
It's still beautiful.
It is still a beautiful life.
Someone said, I'm ready to rock it.
There you go, girl.
Thank you so much, Angel.
It was an absolute pleasure.
And you're beautiful.
Pleasure, sorry.
You're beautiful.
Thank you.
You're beautiful. I thank you for the words of wisdom and encouragement.
Thank
you. Listen, this thing is loaded. I didn't even have a chance to read half of the comments that they were saying about you and, oh, you've always been a fashionista and this is my beautiful friend and all these different things that they're speaking so highly of you. Listen to me. And this encouraged me. I want to give this unit to someone who is experiencing alopecia. I'm going to give you the number to call, 328-8164. 328-8164. Someone who has, and of course, between me and you, I'm going to have some type of evidence, or something for you to show me. You know, it's not going to be public. Obviously, I'm going to put it publicly, but you want to be fair, because anyone could just call and say X, Y, Z. So if you are experiencing that, if you don't mind calling in and saying, look, this is the reason why I would want to have this unit. This is what I'm going through. And, you know, not saying that the hair defines you, but it, you know, it would help enhance you or make you feel a little bit more confident.
And that's what's important.
Right. So the number to call is 328-8164, 328-8164. Thank you so much, Angel. And guess who's up next? We have with us Dr. Jamie Davis. She is a dermatologist, and she is representing us all the way from, Jamie, where you are?
Minneapolis, Minnesota. Hi.
In Minneapolis, and she is, of course, as you know, Family Medicine Center is one of our top sponsors, and she represents Family Medicine Center as well. So I want to thank you, Jamie, for being a part of us and for everything that you're about to tell us in this next 15 minutes.
Well, I'm very happy to be here to be able to share your stories and also just my perspective from a physician or board certified dermatologist perspective. But I got to say before I start that Miss Adderley is one of the most beautiful humans I have seen in a very long time. I just love the spirit.
Go ahead. Sorry, we just got the last beat. Okay, thank you. Go ahead. Sorry, Jamie.
I was just going to say, before I start getting into the medical perspective, I just wanted to let Miss Adderley know she's one of the most beautiful humans I've seen in a very long time, from the inside and out, honestly. And you represent a beautiful side of all this, which is there's the medical things, which I can talk about also, but you represent what it means to a woman to experience hair loss, because we do identify with you know, our hair so strongly. So I appreciate what you're telling women, and it does apply across the board. Lots of aspects of what we consider sort of a feminine beauty are not necessarily so baked in, and being able to, you know, have a beautiful soul like you do, I think makes a bigger difference than the outside stuff.
Thank you, Doc.
So I just wanted to say that. But let's get into the things that I heard as you were talking. So thing one, and remember, I'm coming at this from a medical doctor perspective, not sort of the cosmetic piece exactly. That's important also. But when I see alopecia, right, I realize that that's a big spectrum of conditions. So alopecia areata is what Miss Adderley has experienced. And the first thing a doctor is supposed to think about with that is, do you have an underlying medical condition that the hair is giving us a red flag to look at? And that would be thyroid disease. And so I hope that a physician has helped you look at your thyroid condition, if there's a condition.
They have.
Okay.
Yes, they have the full workup.
Yeah, because often the hair, I consider it as a clue from our body to say, hey, something else might be wrong. Rarely it's just hair loss, right? So it can be, but we do a panel of thyroid tests, including thyroid antibodies, to see if the immune system is by mistake picking off hair follicles as it's trying to pick off your thyroid function. So that's the first thing we do with alopecia areata. And then it can progress, not in all cases, to alopecia totalis, where the hair will leave the rest of the scalp, even eyebrows, eyelashes. So we have better and better and better treatments for that as these new biologic agents come into play. So there are good options. If a woman wants to get that treated, there are very good options. It is, as long as we know the thyroid's okay, it's generally not a risk to your health, but that's the first thing we have to think about. Any questions on that part of it?
Not really. What I really wanted us to focus primarily on, well, I don't know if the audience may have some questions. They're free to ask questions. I'll try to read them as we go.
Sure.
But I do know that you deal with various ethnicities when it comes to, you know, our hair as women. And one of the questions I wanted to ask you is what seems to be the most common, even though we have various hair types?
Yeah. So what you were talking about earlier, well, exactly what you said is something that we're going to see in hair that is curly or kinky. And I live with a head of hair like that too. And I've hot combed it and relaxed it and fought it so hard. And the risk we see sometimes is then we damage the hair from the chemical straightening, from the heat processing. And what you were describing is even a scalp dermatitis, like a chemical burn that can not only break the hair, but even cause some scarring in the scalp so that hair doesn't come back fully. So the chemical processing, the heat processing can actually damage not only the hair, but the scalp. So it's a tough one because I love when my hair is silky straight, just like other curly girls do. But it's just, we have to, I think what Miss Adderley was saying is sometimes it's just sort of a radical self-acceptance to what God gave you, So the other thing I see, and I did see last time I was down there in Nassau and in Rock Sound also, you were talking about growing down the hair before extensions are put in. So what we often see is a lifetime of doing that creates traction, chronic pulling, even really tight hair, right? So I see this even in teenage girls where the traction chronically starts to ruin those hair follicles, to see the gap between the rows get wider and wider and wider. And even the frontal hairline gets pulled back and back and back. So being mindful of this traction alopecia is also important in ethnic hair because of the ways, we style it. So that's a tricky one though also, because, we're not going to come in and change the way women like to wear their hair.
Right.
So it's a tricky one.
So from a medical point of view, what and how can it be treated for those who may be experiencing hair loss?
Yes. So
whether it's alopecia, whether it's thinning edges because of the traction, how can that be treated?
Yeah. So and also menopause and these kinds of hormonal things. But thing one is a doctor, physician who can get the medical diagnosis correct, because what we don't want to do is see a woman with early alopecia areata and call it genetic, or a woman with lupus, for example, can also, an autoimmune condition, can also cause hair loss, and mistake it for traction alopecia or something else. So thing one is get a very good diagnosis from an experienced physician. And number two is, depending on what the diagnosis is, there's lots and lots of ways to treat things. Alopecia areata, as Miss Adderley said, sometimes, well, and I think as you mentioned also, Trish, was sometimes we do have to use steroid injections or steroid pills, right, to kind of chill out the immune system a little bit. There are topical medications that can be used. These newer complex biologic agents can actually help regrow hair. Lots of options for alopecia areata. For genetic or menopausal type hair thinning, usually in older women, we check the hormone levels. We make sure that those are not excessive, because those can lead to diagnosis of other problems. We can block those hormones in women with a medication called spironolactone. For irritant scalp dermatitis, like you had with your relaxers, yes, topical steroids, oral steroids. Traction alopecia, unfortunately, and lupus, some of the scarring conditions of the scalp are not reversible.
I heard that.
The only thing. Early detection and prevention is the only thing. So, get to a physician early in the process, just so that we don't let time go by and cause any permanent hair loss, if possible.
Well, we're going to take a break, Dr. Jamie. So on the opposite side of break, we're going to talk about hair implants and some things that we can do for persons who may want to, help grow whatever can be grown. Because like you said, most things are irreversible. You can't do anything about it. But let's see what are the options for persons who can do something about it. Yeah? All right, let's take a break.
See you on the other side.
So thank you so much, Mama.
Thank you too.
Okay, to my Facebook audience, give us a second, please. I'm just going to transition. And we're going to have with us, Angel is leaving. Say bye-bye to Angel. Like, she was so awesome.
Bye, Bahamas.
So awesome. And then we're going to have fabulous Ronnie
Thank
on
you,
right
Doc.
after Dr. Jamie. Let me walk you out. Thank you so much. There has to be a part two. Part two, because it's just too much.
Listen, I just hear about you all, man.
Yes, sir. How may I help you, sir?
I hear you're giving out free things. And as a man with 12 children, I love free things.
Well, yes, sir. If you're ordering with airborne freight and cargo services for the first time, we will be giving you prizes just for shipping with us.
Hold on, wait. What are y'all giving out?
Well, we're giving away gas vouchers, coupons from various outlets, up to 20% off your shipping fee, and so much more.
Could y'all please stop slamming my door? None of y'all pay no bills inside here. Sorry about that, Mom. Hey, y'all is ship double shoulders because this woman expecting twins again, Dread.
Airborne freight and cargo services. Get rewarded for being a new customer on top of our already low rates. Call us at 377-04.
From hearing loss, we're here for you. We're located Rivington Center Building, Blake Road. Call us today at 702-9310. Family Medicine Center, where our family takes care of yours.
You're listening to Your Lane with Coach Trish Hannah.
Welcome back. We wrapping up with Dr. Jamie Davis, who's helping us a lot with, the various type of alopecia, what we can do to rectify it, and if it can be rectified. I shared my story about the chemical burns, trying to figure out, hey, can we, is hair implants an option for those who may want to take that route, or should we continue on with medication until, that time comes for growth? I mean, I don't even know, because to be honest with you, I've seen spurts here and there, but the parts where there's scarring, that's absolutely nothing. So can you help us with those who may have been experiencing the same things that I am experiencing at the moment?
Well, absolutely. So, the first thing is to give it enough time to see what will grow back naturally, because a lot will grow back naturally.
Yeah.
Especially what you had, Trish, has a far better chance to grow back naturally. Usually a bad dermatitis on the scalp like that isn't necessarily permanent, but if somebody has a permanent type of hair loss and we can't fix it another way, then there are surgical options. And that usually involves harvesting hair from the back where it's more abundant, presumably, to where it's missing. And that's got variable results. There are even some things I would do before that, including Latisse, which is traditionally an eyelash grower. That can be used for patchy hair loss. And even this platelet-rich plasma we're starting to inject, which is from your own blood. It will take the portion of the plasma that is loaded with growth factors and inject that in too. So transplant might be the very last thing we would think about, but it's certainly an option. So there's always hope. There's always hope.
Okay. So what can you tell? I mean, because we still didn't discuss half of the things that I wanted to discuss today. I want to know, what are some issues that other ethnicities may be experiencing? What do they deal with? I doubt it's thinning edges. So, because
you're right.
There's not much braiding and stuff going on. But what else do you encounter with women with different hair?
So a couple of things. Also bleaching it blonde, so I'm in Minnesota, the land of Scandinavians, and we have a lot of natural blondes, but most blondes are not natural. So the hair bleaching also damages the hair and makes it brittle, and breakage, also hard water. So, a lot of calcium or lime in the water can cause very brittle hair. Soft water can alleviate that. Some women have to rinse with distilled water in order to rinse off the iron and the calcium. So the other thing though that I see across the board too is dandruff, or what they're calling dry scalp. I don't like to call it dry scalp because it's really oily scalp, and it comes on when there's a long period in between hair washing. So that particularly affects curly hair because it's harder to wash that on a regular basis unless you want to redo the hair, but the scalp pays the price for that.
Right.
So more frequent shampooing helps with that dry scalp thing. And again, at the expense of how you like the hair to look. But the itchy, dry scalp is really itchy, oily scalp. And it just needs to be washed more frequently to make that get better on its, naturally. We also have medication for it too, but that's just a simple way to approach that. And that's across ethnicities.
Mm-hmm. So is there anything before we close with you that you would want to advise us? And I guess it depends, because I think the majority of Bahamians, have that issue with hair. That most Bahamians that are, I guess, mixed or, black. So it's really more of a hair issue with us. Because I'm not hearing much about, the Caucasians and the other races or ethnicity. So with that being said, is there any advice that you'd want to give to us, as far as taking care of our hair and our health?
Yeah. So my dog's going to get involved.
He's answering, by the way.
So, yeah, I think
that's fine.
I think women with ethnic hair are just going to face a bigger battle, because the styles are, harder to achieve, and therefore the daily washing is just not going to necessarily happen.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, and then the weaves or the plaits, the tension on the hair. But what I would say is this: any hair loss should just be evaluated first. Don't assume it's, just hair loss or whatever, because there are medical reasons that need to be checked out across ethnicities. And I do see that some types of hair loss in women are misdiagnosed.
Yes. Wow, that's an issue. So you definitely would want to advise persons to go and seek professional help before you can actually determine whether or not you have this particular diagnosis, or what you assume to be that particular diagnosis. And do you also agree on getting a second opinion?
Perhaps, but if you are in front of a board certified physician, dermatologist who has experience with this, usually it's a fairly straightforward diagnostic process. It's not usually very confusing, but you just have to have somebody who knows what they're looking for. We're happy to be that for you at the Family Medicine Center.
Well, I have another story. You can go out to the Family Medicine Center, and that's another thing that I wanted to say, that to just consult with you, because to be honest with you, before having met you all, I went to 2 different dermatologists. One was a male, which, I really couldn't go back because I couldn't deal with another scalp injection. I really could not do it.
Yeah,
and then the second, I was told by a friend to go to this other individual, and this individual, they charged me $300 just for the consultation, and I had insurance. All right. And for her to come, and when I actually went to her, she's like, oh, well, there's nothing that we can do about it. And as you stated, she goes, well, this all starts with you guys pulling as you stated, the traction, pulling the hair and braiding hair from since the kids are like 2 or 3. So basically, in a nutshell, and I'm being nice of the way that it was said to me.
I couldn't hear that. Well, you shouldn't be treated like that.
She was like, there's no hope for me. So once again, yes, I'm a very sentimental person. I'm very emotional. I walked out there crying. One, because I spent $300. I could have been getting a unit or something with that. And 2, the way that she was not sensitive to my feelings. I guess she was just straight up, but the way that she was straight up was just not enough.
Well, you want to be honest with people, but also make really, really sure that that's the case, because there's usually so much hope with hair. That there are things we can do to get hair to grow back, and it's less common to have that permanent scarring type of hair loss. So I do everything I can possibly do to get the diagnosis right, keep hope alive, and harness any treatments that we have available, get them patients. So
thank you. Now, if you want to speak with Dr. Jamie Davis, you can reach out to Family Medicine Center tomorrow to make an appointment schedule consultation with her, and we go from there, right? Jamie?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm there just periodically throughout the year, trying to get to be in the Bahamas more and more and more. That's the place I love to be the most. So that'll pick up as time goes on. But the Family Medicine Center will know when I'm there. I'm looking at October, November right now. So I'm happy to help out, and I will do the best job I can for you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. You were just
Thanks for
phenomenal.
having
Thanks
me.
once again. Blessings
Thanks.
to you. Say hello to the dogs for me. Okay. So we're going to take a break. And after the break, we're going to have fabulous Ronnie on with us. She came with all kind of energy today. I can't wait to share this energy. I want her to give me some of her energy. What she come here with. I can't wait to hear what she has to say. So let's take a break, guys.
Good day, everyone. Freight and Cargo Services. How may I help you today?
Hey, listen, I just say I'm doing.
Thank you. Thanks for everything. Appreciate it.
Sorry, Dr. Davis.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say thanks for everything.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Anytime, call me up.
Yes, we're definitely gonna. We gotta get it back. We have to get it back. All right. Fab, Ronnie. Listen, you ain't even started yet. They done calling your name. What? No, I'm just trying to hype her up a little, guys. Just trying to hype her up. So beautiful today.
Thank you.
You got the link, right? Yeah, it worked and everything. Because I used to do foolishness. I just don't know how to do that sometimes. So ladies, okay, so we still have this hair here. 328-8164, 328-8164. If you want the unit, you can call in and explain why you would want to, or the fact that you need it. We're not gonna have someone with nice, healthy, pretty hair calling in and say we want this unit. We want someone that may be struggling with some, with their hair and the health that their hair is in at the moment, who may say, okay, well, as I am processing or as I'm using the various treatments, let me just put this unit on when I go out, or something to that extent. So please call in 328-8164. And I think Ronnie said you bought some stuff as well.
I plan on giving away some stuff.
Oh, she's giving away some stuff, so I'm gonna say that on air as well. So at least we got the live listeners that got firsthand. Welcome back. Guess who we have in studio with us, ladies and some gentlemen? Dr. Sharron Neely, aka Fabulous Ronnie. How are you?
I am doing fabulous.
Clearly. Thank you so much for joining us. And Fabulous Ronnie, I'm going to call you Ronnie. Is that fine?
Sure, that's
so. You're a trichologist, which is very different from a dermatologist. And can you explain the difference between what you do versus what Dr. Jamie does?
Sure. Well, let me first introduce myself, if that's okay. My name, like you said, is Sharron, Dr. Sharron Neely. I am a cosmetologist, a formulator, and a trichologist. In regards to the question that you're asking, the difference, well, a trichologist is a certified a certified person who deals with the scalp and the hair. And so in regards to a dermatologist, let me definitely say I'm not a physician, neither am I a dermatologist. Both of those practice are medical practitioners. I, for one, am a paramedical practitioner, so that's a big difference. But what I do love to highlight is my background, especially by me going off again and studying trichology, the same way how certain professions advance, a doctor or a dermatologist would have to go back to study to be a trichologist. And so it's a specialty. It's an area of specialization dealing with the science of the scalp and the hair. And I mean, I love it, Trish.
I can see that.
I love it.
I can see that. I follow you and I can see that that is your passion. I want to know though, and how long have you been doing this for?
23 years.
23 years.
With my foundation, Trish, being a cosmetologist.
Right.
And so I wanted to specialize in what it was I was being faced with on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
Wanting to know, how can I help? How can I be the answer to what it is that I'm faced with, especially with my clients and customers that come in.
So let's talk.
Let's talk.
When your customers come in, what seem to be some of the issues that they experience?
Well, I'll list three issues.
Three
the
main
top,
issues.
the three main issues. The top one would be traction, of course, like Dr. Jamie Davis basically made a mention of course, in our culture, being Black African people, we braid and we ponytail, of course, and we do a whole lot of pulling. And Trish, one of the tiniest muscles in the entire body is called erector papillae. It is very sensitive. So imagine from the age of 3, we pull, 14, pull, 20, pull, and even after 30 into 40, we still, making pulling. And so again, it would make a major, it would do damage. It would do damage. And so again, even like I said, in our culture, we wear the lace caps and the 28 pieces, of course, without using it or applying it with a professional standard, then of course you would encounter problems. And next thing, another popular condition, or what I say a frequent condition that I see a lot, is something called Chuckatillomania. It is, and I think in regards to something that you had asked, it's from a different profession when I'm downtown. The Black people we deal with, of course, the traction, if it's okay for me to say Caucasian persons. I see a whole lot of persons, of course, from the cruise ship. They come and they would have lice. They would have issues from even yet smoking. It would be shown in their hair. And a condition called, like, we fight with traction, but Caucasian people fight with a condition called trichotillomania, whereas you notice they'll do like an action with their hands,
all the
pull
time.
all the time, but they'll twirl.
Right.
And that tends to pull a whole lot on the hair. And so it's so many different conditions that different ethnicities face, but it's just how to diagnose it,
And
how to help,
it,
right, and how to help.
Dr. Jamie said, you just can't just say anything. You
and I love what she said. I love what she said.
So that they can properly diagnose an individual.
And I agree with everything that she says.
Yes, absolutely. So tell me something. How can hair loss be prevented then for those who, let's start from young. I remember I was in by my mother-in-law's house, and a few of my sisters-in-law were in there with me, and we wanted to take a picture. So one of my sisters-in-law came with a brush to brush my niece's hair, and her mom was like, no, we don't brush her hair. We don't use the brush at the front, the tip part of her hair. We'll brush it like in the middle or there, but not necessarily at the edge. So I don't know if that's a thing, but having to brush your hair from the edges, does that cause traction, or does that cause thinning?
The thing about it is, and I see that a lot, knowledge is power. Of course, knowing to know, you tend to do better. And the front part of everyone hair is the defense line. The first thing we do is we take the comb, like you were saying, and we take and brush. We start from the front and then we go to the back. And so again, imagine doing that from a child, teenager stage, adult stage. It put a whole lot of wear and tear on the front part of the hair. And so by her saying no, don't brush, I guess it was a preventative method on her behalf to say, well, you know what, not to put as much pressure on the front.
Right.
And a lot of times I heard you made a mention, or it was the other lady, in terms of with the front of the hairline. People don't, like right now, just it's so much like baby hair. Everyone's swooshing with the edge grow back.
So is that an issue with all this gel? Because I see that all the time.
I know, but too much of anything ain't good.
Yeah.
Too much of anything is not good. And I wouldn't recommend persons, if you do it, wash it out. Don't apply or don't try to comb it while it's so hard or in that stiff manner. Loosen it up, even get a wet cloth, clean it a bit, and then again, of course, style, everyone will look fabulous. And so again, then you go back at it. But too much of anything is not good. No.
So let's talk about heat damage, because we like our straightening combs. This when we doing the natural thing, right? When we're doing the natural thing, we want to straighten our hair sometimes. Just let it flow.
Sure.
All right. How is that an issue for those who may have natural hair and use that method of straightening their hair or silk pressing their hair?
Again, I don't oppose it. I don't go against the silk pressing.
Right.
We don't do it at the clinic. We do have salon services, of course, but in terms of putting excessive heat is the problem, not putting any kind of heat. You know, excessive, like too much heat would be obviously a problem. Sometimes it manipulates the shaft too much to a point whereas you can't get that kink back again in the hair. And so to try to reverse it would take a whole lot of experience and technique to reverse it. And most times we can reverse it. A whole lot of times. But it requires, moisturizing the hair, trimming the hair on a regular basis, and regular maintenance, of course, not going back at it. We also use a safe drying mechanism. Besides drying the air dry natural, we have something called reverse air, whereas we could straighten your hair with cold air. And so it all depends. Knowledge is power. Just to know how to is a big deal. But heat, I know a lot of persons, especially in the natural community, really scared of heat, but it's just how you apply it and how much heat you put on the hair.
So fabulous Ronnie, because I'm gonna stick with Ronnie.
Yes.
Someone say in this post, right? They say, "Man, I want the hair, but Ronnie is my hairstylist, so my hair full and lengthy."
How about that?
Okay,
How about
meaning,
that?
listen, the same for me. I love it, but the same for me. So I guess for the persons who you have, and your clients obviously have healthy hair. There's no need to. But what about persons who are they need somewhere to go? I mean, what is it that you do that is maybe different from some other cosmetologists? And of course, we're not putting anybody down or anything,
No.
but what makes you different?
I love that question. What makes me different? What we offer is one like no other. We have bridged two entities together, the beauty aspect and the healthcare aspect, and we're plunged in the middle. And so the platform that we are presenting is one like no other. If you was to go in a beauty salon, it's very rare you would not get any medical service, of course. And if you go to a medical practitioner, it's very unlikely you'll get a beauty advice or experience.
Yeah.
And you have both entities under one umbrella. And so that alone is something that have never been seen in our country. And so I'm so happy to know that we could, be innovative.
Right.
And, trying to
Diversify.
change the trajectory even out of hair care. And so that's amazing. That's a big deal.
Yeah,
That's
it is a big deal.
Of
So
course,
you're
that's a
doing
big
big
deal.
things. So so let me. This is a serious question. This question is this. Okay, your hair, you haven't relaxed your hair in 2 years, 3 years, but then you put a color in it or you bleach it. Is your hair still natural?
That's an excellent question. You use a chemical service. What the hair is yet processed in terms of color. And when persons say your hair is not natural, it refers to how the shaft itself is presented. So the question that you're asking me, you altered the shaft in terms of the color. It's not the original pigment. So no, your hair would not be originally 100% blonde or my hair like red. It's processed. And so it is natural hair. It's not an extension. It's not weave. It's not a unit. It's still my natural hair, but
it's processed.
It's processed.
So that's fine. Let's talk about process hair. Let's talk about weaving and bonding glues.
Okay.
All right. Now I know that you've seen a lot of hair. You've seen a lot of scalps. You've seen a lot of, to say less hair from people because of the bonding and weaving. And what advice would you give for persons like that? Because I definitely, before all the units and caps and stuff, we had the bonding, which caused one of the issues why I had explained earlier with the bonding and tightening and the gluing and all these different things, and it literally pulled out my hair. What advice you give for persons who still want to have that method, who want to keep the method of gluing and bonding?
Most persons' hair may not be a candidate for bonding or sewing, but if, I guess, for whatever reason they still choose to do it in moderation. If you do have a weave extension sewn in, not to keep it in for a lengthy period of time, allow the hair to, of course, breathe for some.
How long is it lengthy?
I would say automatically 4 weeks. Persons would say, I would say 4, depending, especially if your hair, your hair is not up to standard, 4. But typically, persons would say 6, especially because, of course, it's a costly service, so people want a penny pinch and say a buck or two.
Right.
But 4 weeks would be the professional length of time you would need to keep it in.
And I would say for box braiding as well.
For box
For
braiding,
box braids.
sure.
Mhm.
But even now with box braiding, I would also recommend persons to do like a dry wash. Rather than, of course you can saturate your hair with the water with the box braid. Some people tend to do it, but make sure the scalp is at least clean, even if you do go beyond the length of time which you're supposed to go. So again, still clean the scalp, and have regular checks in terms of if you see the hair hanging on or dangling from the natural hair. Of course, that's the indication of time to take
you
out.
take it out, take it out, take it
Yeah,
out, take
time
it
to take it out.
And for persons like myself who have daughters that swim,
My daughter swim as well.
so how do we maintain it? I need help, Lord. I need help.
I know. Do you have a swim cap for?
Yes, they have to wear a swim cap.
Yeah, they have to wear a swim
yes,
cap.
definitely.
In
But
regards
there are some times that, but even when they come out of the pool, that their hair or the edges all around is still wet from the chlorine water.
And that's fine, but you'll have to still rinse it. I would automatically advise you to not keep the chlorine water in there. And even with my daughter, I would tend to just rinse it. You don't even have to apply shampoo, or even if you want to, go wash it, just apply a little conditioner if you do want to wash it. But just the regular water, clear water is fine.
Okay,
That's
usually
fine.
I do the I won't say lazy. I'll do the wash and the condition. I'll be like, I'll
But
take it to the
every time they
hairdresser.
come out the pool.
But every time, because they have to, when they come out of the pool, they have to go and take a shower anyway from where they are, where they swim. And then when they come home, I'll just wash their hair and
Their hair
just
would normally be
wet
out.
it.
It wouldn't be braided.
No,
or
it's braided.
ponytail.
It's braided, and I'll put the conditioner over it because I can't like lose it out for every
No,
time.
the conditioner is fine.
Okay.
You would still apply the shampoo with it as
No,
well? No,
just the conditioner.
Okay, so the conditioner
That's
is
fine.
fine. Or even just your clear water. Any one of those is fine. That's
Okay,
fine.
that is good. Now let's talk about how we could grow our hair. I heard about rice water. I've never tried it. I used to try to follow this person on YouTube talking about rice water, and I heard how stink it can be
Yeah.
if kept
Fermented
too
rice
long
water.
and not knowing how to do it properly. And I heard that this is something that you actually a product that you use,
Formulated, but
right?
yeah,
And let's talk to us about rice water.
Well, I'm so happy to say it. That's one of my hats I wear, being a formulator. Of course, I always wanted to know. I come from a very strong, supportive family. I have a family that really pushes me to always be the best, be the best version of fabulous.
That's a wonderful family.
And that's a wonderful family. That is the truth. And I would not be where I am without them. And so in saying that, again, always wanting to know, especially with the rice water, do research. And again, continuing education is a big deal, especially in my household.
We're evolving.
A really, really big deal. Not just staying, just not staying still. You always have to move, always have to grow.
Going. Yeah.
And with the rice water and the different products that I formulate, again, I wanted to incorporate nature into my service. You have a lot of persons, especially after the pandemic, everybody don't want the prescription drugs. Most persons don't want the over the counter.
They want the natural way to do
the natural
things.
way of doing things.
Yeah.
And so everything is in season. Everything goes, I guess, with seasons.
Yeah.
And again, having a background from the island, I like to big up Andros. Of course, that's why.
Okay. Oh, that means you could cook then.
Now see, stay
Oh,
focused
listen,
with me,
you
right?
can't don't big up Andres if
Stay
you
focused.
cannot cook. Because
come
every
from-
person I know who came from Andres could cook.
I have,
all right?
I have family who could cook. I have
But
a
but you
household
ain't.
who could cook, but I'm not the one who cooks.
That's
But
all right.
but
I wouldn't judge you. Go
no,
ahead.
man, don't judge me. Not when you say cook, because I can imagine my auntie saying, "Lord, don't shame Ronnie." But nevertheless, even with the rice water, all natural protein, and it's super healthy, especially versus using. And I don't, want to call different product names,
Right.
but again, from a natural approach versus the over the counter approach,
Yeah.
and the different botanicals we extract beautiful nutritional factors out of plants
Right.
that can assist with the health of the hair. And so the products that I use, I'm so proud to see the progress. The progress is, we have a high success rate from it. And we also have, I see
When
smiles.
someone say Trish is a foodie, I am. Don't let this bait fool you. I like to eat.
No, I don't. I know, Trisha. I ain't a foodie. But a lot of the products, all of the products, not a lot, but all of the products that I formulate assist with, especially with hair growth and keeping the hair healthy.
I love that. So what are some of the things that we can look forward to when purchasing some of your, what are some of the plant-based and the fruits and the vegetables and the
Okay.
bushes?
You
Talk
put
to
me in
us
my
about it.
element there,
Okay.
Trish.
All right. I like that. Tell me. Teach us.
One of the most popular products we have is called Edges Grow Back, aka onion butter.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it has different ingredients, but the main ingredient is onions and aloe vera.
Mm-hmm.
It is extremely helpful for helping hair to grow and to stay strong,
How does
especially
it
for the skin.
smell?
And it doesn't smell bad.
No?
No, and I have 100% onions and then real onions. And so another product is the growth oil. Of course, the growth oil, we have moringa,
Mm-hmm.
thyme, just to name a few of the ingredients that is in it. We have the rose petals. And so again, that alone, it speaks volume. Just the hair loves these products.
Yeah.
You know, I also have a product called rosewater. Rosewater is very popular, of course, especially for the makeup artists. It's excellent for the skin, help the skin to stay youthful. And liquid hibiscus, again, it smells amazing. It's all natural, organic, especially. I really capitalize from, living in a tropical
Climate.
climate.
Yeah, conditions. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it conditions the hair and it helps even with premature graying. At the clinic as well, we also see men and children. And so the umbrella with men, children, and women, all of the products that basically be used on the three.
So when you do have people that come in with hair loss or damaged hair, what do you do first? They call you, they say, look, I have some issues with my hair. Can you see me? What happens next?
The starting point at our hair loss clinic, it begins with a consultation. We would want to know how can we help you. Everyone's situation is not the same. And so to get a hair consultation, we would then construct a comprehensive plan moving forward on what we should and should not, or what you should and should not be doing with your hair. And we would basically give a layout of a professional hair regimen, a schedule. We look at, we ask, do interview in terms of questions to find out about your lifestyle, about your health. We approach it from a holistic standpoint.
Right. So would you say that eating habits play an integral role with our hair health?
Yes, for sure, definitely. Eating habits, even just like I said earlier, the day to day, just your lifestyle, even yet stress, work. Sometimes even not sometimes, but most times, especially in the consultation, you would. It's almost like you could kind of group certain people based on their occupation, especially with you knowing it would be stressful. Again, stress plays a major role again in hair. Like you asked, in terms of even eating habits. Right now, everybody, after COVID, everybody going on a rampage with just having 3 jobs and don't have time to eat. And no one using a kitchen. Everybody's still new. Everybody on Bentley's line, and that is playing a major role with hair loss. That helping.
That right there.
Yeah.
So
big
how can we
deal.
maintain? How can we keep it healthy? How can we be healthy with? How can our hair be healthy? How can we maintain a healthy lifestyle? Not just, okay, you go jogging. Yes, you have some persons who do go jogging. You have some persons who do eat healthy. You have some persons who do drink their water, but they still don't take that time with their hair. How can you? I'm trying to find the best way to ask this question. How can you keep a healthy hair for someone who is holistic, who's adamant about what they eat and intentional about, the amount of water they drink, and how can they still maintain that hair though? Going into the pharmacy or going into the beauty places that sell hair care products and stuff. What do they get? What do they do? How many times should they wash their hair? That was the
Again, Trish, it still comes. I mean, I understand what you're saying in terms of they eating healthy, they exercising, but yet you still have to have a good hair regimen. I mean, even if you are eating healthy, even if you are exercising, but you probably might still be the person with the lace cap or with the tight ponytail or the bun,
braids.
or the braids.
Yeah.
And so again, a healthy hair, routine or regimen would be a plus to know what your hair can and cannot take.
How many times should we wash? I mean, I don't know. Like you said, it's different, but just on average, how many times should we wash our hair?
I mean, averagely, I'd say once a week, depending, especially if you have, if your hair is very oily, definitely once a week. or 1 to 2 times a week would be the average time to wash the
And what
hair.
about treatments? What type of treatments?
Again, and I love that you asked about treatments. I so love to say that we have over 31 different treatments at our hair loss clinic, all natural. And in terms of treatment, that's a part of even the consultation. We'd want to know which one of the treatments would be best suited for you. And so again, finding out a whole lot of information during the interview from the consultation, we would know which one of the 31 treatments, again, would basically help to assist whatever condition it is that is presented. But in terms of treatment, as long as you make a professional assessment, after a professional assessment has been made, then you would automatically know which treatment would be best. Would it be a hot oil? We have the red light therapy. We have or just approaching it too, even from a holistic standpoint, is a plus. And so again, the treatments vary.
So what if I just walk into the pharmacy or beauty supply store and I'm looking for a shampoo and a conditioner? What should I be looking for? What are some of the ingredients that I should not accept, or the ones that I should be looking for?
Well, I know for sure, one, sulfate. You don't want sulfate because sulfate is a fighting agent to protein, and 91% of our hair is protein. And so, again, if sulfate fight protein, you don't want it to basically be a hindrance to your hair. So always look for sulfate-free products.
Right.
The second thing would be you want to stay away from alcohol. Alcohol, again, especially for naturalists, it dries out the hair. It would kind of counteract you trying to do the lock-in method in terms of with the moisture and with the oil. Alcohol would not be a friend. And another one would be mineral oil. Of course, a lot of products camouflage mineral oil to give you that slip.
Right.
But again, it is a major hindrance too for the hair. And so those same three would be a no-no, especially if you want to look at the beauty supply products.
Dr. Ronnie, so when coming to you, getting a consultation from you, how is it? Are you placed in an open environment? You know, when you walk into the salon, you see, chairs side to side to side, or do you have separate rooms, or you have barriers? How is your area?
At our hair loss clinic, everything is very much private. We prize being private. I know in the salons, most persons come in and they're very timid because just hearing the word salon, you just think about open. Everyone is going to see my hair. And just having healthy hair is an insurance for women, especially hair. We pride our hair a whole lot.
Of course.
And everything is basically private. The consultation room is a one-on-one service. It's just the client and myself. Even in terms of the salon aspect, it's just one-on-one. Everything is basically private, to the shampoo bowl, to the dryer. Everything is private at the hair loss clinic.
Someone wanted to know how much is consultation?
The consultation is $100. We ask for a non-refundable $25 deposit just to reserve the spot. And the balance is paid on the date of consultation. And the consultation is normally 30 minutes. If it goes over, that's fine. But we want to make certain that the client have that professional time that they paid for.
So let me just let you reiterate this, because I remember, to be honest with you, since I shared my story, which is now public, since that happened to me, I went to the salon probably twice since that episode, like 5 years ago. And the first time I went, it was at a natural salon, and I forgot that men go in there also because they have locks. So here it is that I'm getting my hair styled, and as I'm looking up, I see people's eyes, and then they try to put, when you can catch someone looking at you. So it was still embarrassing for me in a way, and I was still sensitive about that. And the second time when I called, it's three. The second time I went to get my hair done, I asked this lady if they have a private room that she can fix my hair in. She's like, oh, well, we have a little kitchenette area. Maybe we can put you in there first.
Oh, wow.
That was in this little boxed area. And then the third time, this was around COVID, and I was told that, hey, I'm going to make sure you have an appointment where nobody comes in like that as frequent, so it, you won't really be ashamed or embarrassed about it. And that's where, and that was like about last year, I believe it was just last year.
Really?
Yeah. And so my issue is just privacy, not just for me, but for other people that may feel the same way, especially with knowing that, hey, here's somebody who's not only just concerned about having to style my hair, but is concerned about my health.
Yes.
you know, and if it's a hair loss clinic, clearly they're coming in because their hair is gone or partially gone or damaged. So you want to be able to find a place like your salon that has privacy, that the person knows what they're saying. And Charles, you telling me because I didn't there.
I feel your pain in terms of your story. I can only imagine. You have women come in and they say, my husband have not seen my hair in 5 years, 10 years. It's a real it's a real deal. Because when you see a woman take off their weave, it's almost like you asking them to become drastically naked before you. And so again, of course, you have to be sensitive in that area. Everything is private. Everything, Trish, is private.
I love that.
Yes.
And do you have any closing words? Because we want to take a break because we have, believe me when I said we have a whole, this is the final. After you, there's another session, which I heard that you are part of. And so I can't wait to hear about it. Look at you, Shock, you know what's going on. Okay, so we're going to have a representative, well, not the representative, but the actual person for the House of Deborah coming in. Yes, Latoya Forbes, right after you. And you're part of this event that she's having this weekend. So we're going to talk more about that. But are there any closing words for persons who may be listening in, especially persons like who've been through what I've been through and persons who are hearing about you for the first time?
Okay, help is here. We are the answer. If you are experiencing any type of hair loss, you would want to reach out to us, 364-0517. We made it super easy. That's a landline, a WhatsApp, and a mobile device number, 364-0517. And so do not be confined with that weave or a unit. You'd want to have options to say, today I want to wear a weave, I don't down a weave, or today I want to wear my natural. I have options. You know, help is here. And so rather than saying, you know what, I'm not doing anything, I'm not going to do anything, or I've tried it all, we're here to help.
Say the number again.
The number is 364-0517.
Write that down. And then she's also on Facebook.
And I'm also on Facebook under Fabulous Ronnie Hair Restoration Clinic or Fab Ronnie.
How the time is going, but you said you have some giveaways for us. I don't know how we're going to do that in the space of time, but can we get what? Can we get the third caller? Because we're going to take a break. Let's get the third caller in. You call the number 328-8164. That's the number, right? 328-8164. The third caller will get what? What they getting?
Let's talk about the rice water. You made a mention
rice
of
water.
The rice
so
water.
You will get the rice water because we're gonna take a break. So you're gonna get a rice water for those who know what rice water does and what it's for and what it's useful for. 3288. Put the numbers again. 328-8164. All right. Call and be the third caller. And we're gonna take a break. Thank you.
Okay,
so I'm gonna get.
Hold on, wait. What are y'all giving out?
Well, we're giving away gas vouchers, coupons from various outlets, up to 20% off your shipping fee, and so much more.
Could y'all please stop slamming my door? None of y'all pay no bills inside here. Sorry about that, Mom. Hey, y'all will ship double shoulders because this woman expecting twins again, Dred.
Airborne Freight and Cargo Services. Get rewarded for being a new customer on top of our already low rates. Call us at 377-0450 or visit us on Facebook at Ship Airborne for more information.
Are you experiencing pelvic pain or urinating a lot? Do you think you have a kidney stone? At Family Medicine Center, we offer state-of-the-art treatment for male and female urinary tract issues. Urological diseases, including non-surgical, minimally invasive options for medical management of kidney disease, urinary incontinence, overactive bladder, and benign prostate hyperplasia. We're here to help. Call 702-9310. We're located Rivington Center, Blake Road, Family Medicine Center, where our family takes care of yours.
Back to school time is here, and so are the smart styles and great prices at John's. Great prices on brands like Clark, Sperry, Timberland, Fat Farm, and others you've grown to trust over the years. Both you and your child will be happy with their shoes each morning, your backpack, their lunch bag, or box. John's has you covered. Socks and belts too. Teachers, we know your job can be hard on your feet, so make sure put them in something easy to work in by coming into John's and help get yourself ready for the new school year. So to beat the crowd, come on in today to John's and get set for school.
You're listening to Your Lane with Coach Trish Hanna. Here's another back in the day joint.
Welcome back. As time is going, I just wanted to take a moment. This is something that I do at every show. At the end of every show, we talk to our audience and we do challenges. So, the first thing I want to say to us all women is to remember that our hair does not define us. All right. True beauty is not external, true beauty is internal. We spoke about this in a previous show entitled The Beauty Within. You can have the best quality hair, either naturally or store bought, but if you have a terrible attitude, people are still not going to be attracted to you. All right. If you are having issues with your hair, if you're having low self-esteem, or if you were in a state like how I once was, where I was just literally depressed or in the mirror just crying, you ask yourself this question. If you had to cut off all of your hair for a medical reason, how would that affect your value or your success? How would that affect you loving your spouse? Or how would that affect your children loving you? How would that affect the way that you interact with other people? In other words, after everything is gone, or if everything is gone, you are still here. If your hair is gone, you are still here. Don't allow your hair to define you. Continue to work on your inner beauty as you are enhancing your outer beauty. Another point that Dr. Jamie stated is, if your hair is damaged, seek professional help and counsel. Not all hair types are created equal. What may work for Linda may not work for Susie. All right. So be able to understand that there are persons out there who are willing to allow you to seek advice from them, because they went to school to do this. They went, and they are professionals who can actually help you explain what is going on with your hair and how to maintain that health that you so desire. For those who may have damaged hair and don't know what to do with it, take your time. If you want to wear your weave, wear your weave. If you want to cut it all off, cut it all off. If you want to be like me, who one day I wearing curly Sunday morning to church, and then the next night I wearing straight blonde out with my husband, do what you got to do. Okay. Whatever makes you comfortable, go ahead and take care of it. And this is something that most persons may not agree on, but that's okay. But for those who are married, I would advise that you consult your husband if you're going to ball it all off. Just ask him what he think, what his thoughts are on that. Just in a respectful way. You want to know, you want to hear his views. All right, honey, if I were to ball off my head, what would you think about it? How would you like it? Because with men, cutting your hair off completely is a shock to them. They can't take much sometimes. So try to be a little bit more respectful, and just out of courtesy, go ahead and consult with your husband. And if you need someone to talk to regarding this, I've been there, I've experienced it. You can share your experience with me. You can email me at coachtrish@yourlanelifecoaching.com. Or you could, if you need help with coaching in this area, you can go to my website at www.yourlanelifecoaching.com. There you can request a free consultation. I want to help you get from where you are to where you want to be. Now, I do have a third caller on the line. Caller, are you there?
Okay.
Hello. How are you? I'm good. Congratulations. You are the third caller. Can I get your name? Nicola Sands. Have you ever used any of Fabulous Ronnie's products? Sorry? I didn't hear. Say it again.
Yes, I have.
Yes, you have. So can you actually say, yes, this thing work? Yes, listen, y'all need to get it, blah, blah, blah. Can you actually say that?
Oh, yes, I can. Fabulous Ronnie has the best product.
Absolutely.
Next to none. They are all natural. They're great for the hair, and it's been doing wonders for me.
Absolutely. I am so happy to hear that. Big up the Fabulous Ronnie. All right. And I am so happy that you have an opportunity to win. I believe it's her rice water. All right. So we're going to get your name and your contact, and then we're going to tell you how to retrieve your information. Okay. So stand by for our producer, and he'll get the information there for you. Okay. Thanks so much for calling, and thanks for tuning in. Fabulous Ronnie, your products are the bomb, and I can't wait to start using them. All right. So let's talk about who we have in studio with us. It's been a long day. It's been a big and busy day, but guess what? I'm excited because she came with all kind of energy today, and I'm waving on. I'm just like doing this to y'all energy today. We have with us Latoya Forbes. How are you?
I am doing well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Listen, let me tell you how I saw your flyer. I saw your flyer on Fabulous Ronnie's site, I believe, on her Facebook page. And then I also saw it on, I think, Kia's Facebook page. And I was like, I have to call her because there's something about this that I really need to know more about, you know, and having spoken to you, anyway, let me let you do it. Tell us about what's happening this weekend. Not me, you.
What's happening this weekend is the House of Deborah is hosting its grand opening in the form of a Shop and Toast, which is in a pop-up style event, but obviously now opening a modest clothing boutique, a faith-based apparel boutique here in the Bahamas. So we are focused on modest attire for women of all ages and all sizes. And we're launching this Saturday, August 13th at Kamalami Place between the hours of 3 p.m. to 9 p.m.
So where's Kamalami Place? Because I can't even pronounce it.
Kamalami Place is an outdoor venue space that is just off Soldier Road after passing Bamboo Shack before the entrance of Kennedy Subdivision. It's on the main Soldier Road. You cannot miss it.
Okay. So who are some of the persons that you're going to have on the...
Well, Fabulous Ronnie is in the house. And persons were asking for consultation information while she was on. And at the Shop and Toast, she is offering free on-the-spot consultations.
Oh, my goodness. So that's $100.
So that's $100 you just saved in your pocket by just coming to the Shop and Toast. So Fabulous Ronnie is there. We have Crystal of Salon Infinity with microlinks. So another version of forming, today you're talking about hair. And so she's another one that's coming to show women how to do the microlinks installation. And we have Royalty Lux Cosmetics. We have almost over 20 vendors that are a part of the Shop and Toast in the beauty, fashion, and culinary industries.
Okay. So beauty, fashion, and culinary. Man, tell me more. You trying to sell these people? This your thing?
I'm watching the time, so I thought you.
What time does it start? What time does it end?
It starts at 3 p.m. and it ends at 9 p.m. Throughout the afternoon and the evening, there will be live entertainment by Dasquay, Miss Giggles, Aaliyah Coley. We also have DJ Godson of Joy 101.9 FM with us. He's there with us the entire afternoon and evening. We will have live demonstrations, so someone will be there teaching you how to do lash application, makeup application, microlink installation. We have an entire afternoon and evening of fun and festivities. We also have games in the garden, so lots of opportunities to win hats, fascinators, bags, shoes, perfumes. We have beautiful and awesome and amazing prizes in store. We have a wine tasting hour with Bristol Wines and Spirits. Those persons who would have purchased early bird tickets would have already gotten access to free wine tasting for the entire event.
Oh, Lord, free wine tasting for the entire event. What? So what's the cost of the tickets?
The cost of the tickets are $20, and you can contact 822-8463, 822-8463. And that's the number for the House of Deborah. Or you can reach out to Waxmoor, which is on Wolf Road and Kemp Road, or Grab and Go Mini Mart, or Fabulous Ronnie on Bay Street, downtown, and Elizabeth Avenue. There are tickets. Any of our vendors would have tickets that you would be able to purchase from them. And tickets will also be on sale at the event. So if you don't catch any of our stores before Saturday, make sure that you still come out 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. We're there at Kamalami Place, and it's going to be an awesome and amazing time.
So direct us again where Kamalami Place is, please.
Kamalami Place is on Soldier Road, just on the corner of Kennedy Subdivision. You cannot miss it. If you turn through Kennedy Subdivision, you can park on the Kennedy Subdivision side. If you turn on the Soldier Road side, there's parking on the Soldier Road. Security is strictly enforced. We are going to have an amazing time.
That sounds amazing. What about for kids? I heard you said $20 for entry. What's the price for kids?
Kids would be free.
Okay.
We don't have an entry fee for kids.
Okay. All right. If there's anything else, man, listen, I know my time gone, right? But I just want you to share this quick. Because we had a conversation. My time gone. I'm giving you my time.
Yes, ma'am.
Why the House of Deborah? What the clothing that you stopped? Because I'm going to bring you back. Okay.
Okay.
But tell me real quick why you decided to choose the type of clothing that you chose.
Well, it's important for us, especially women of faith, to dress modestly, to follow the biblical principles for dressing. And one of the things that we're missing in the market is a very high presence of modest dressing. It is almost like too picking to find something that you don't have to buy a cover up for, or you don't have to have altered just to be able to wear it. It's as simple as going to church. And so if we are saying this, instead of us in the Baptist and Pentecostal and Apostolic movement churches, we often go for the cloth.
Yeah.
No, it's not time for us to go to the cloth. It's time for us to have the option readily available and make sure that it's fashionable and it's trendy, because somehow our 50-year-olds and our 60-year-olds, they're going to get it right. But we have a category of women between the ages of 20 to 30. We got to get it right.
Okay, come on. Okay. I mean, so, especially when you have spouses or you have, your fiance, whatever, and you go into the movies and you look like granny.
No, you don't want to look
like
no,
granny.
You can't look like granny, but then you also must not have something that's too revealing.
Too exposing.
Too exposing. You don't want your chest out. You don't want your buttocks out. There's this trend, I don't know if you've noticed it, but the dresses are fully covered in the front and now all the backs are out. And so it is important for us to make certain that our young people understand that it's okay to be modest. It's fashionable to be modest. And then not just telling them, but also having it readily available. And it is important for women who believe this message, who want to see this going, to be able to now be a part of the movement. Because what we find often is that we sit and we complain about it. But then when someone gets up and starts to do something about it, we support them from behind the scenes. But it's time for us to move out and support them one another. And it's time for us to support them in public, because we have to create the perception that this is the standard.
Okay. But that is good. I agree with you, but you sound like you was about to preach, so I had to cut you off there too. No, but honestly, I love it. I love your vision. I love what you're doing. I love the fact that you are actually bringing something to the table. It's not just saying it. Oh, she need to cover up herself and being judgmental for those who coming in church or going other places, and then they're revealing stuff. But there is a store that someone can go in that they can look decent and modern yet modest.
Yes. Right?
That is why I called you in. Honestly,
we are calling it being cute, classy, and covered.
Oh,
it's the triple C. It's the triple C: cute, classy, and covered.
I got you, Latoya. I love your energy. I love it. I love today's show. And guess what? We are out of time. Today's show is brought to you by Johnson & Johnson, distributed by Lowe's Wholesale, Airborne Freight and Cargo Services, John's Shoe Store and Accessories, Family Medicine Center, and Skin Solutions Day Spa and Salon. Listen to me, y'all. Please go take care of yourself. Go to Skin Solutions Day Spa and Salon. Get if you need to get waxed, if you need to get a massage, even to get your manicure or pedicure. I actually do need pedicure right now, to be honest with you. That's another story. We're talking about that right now. All right. And I want to thank you once again, Angela, because she's listening. Angel, sorry, she's listening. She's tuning in. Thank you to Fabulous Ronnie. Thank you, Dr. Jamie Davis. And thank you, Latoya Forbes, for enlightening us today. And to our wonderful producer, DJ Beats, who's taking place. Tony's on vacation, so he's taking in the job, but Tony, he's holding it down. If you saw some pictures and videos and all these different things, that's because Beats do it. Tony ain't got time to be putting in no extra ins and outs and stuff, but it's live. Beats, I just love him. I just love the way that he does things, and she just takes things up a notch, and I'm grateful for that. And for those who are listening for the very first time, thank you for giving me your ears. Those who've been tuning in via Facebook, and y'all always have Facebook lit. Always, all the time. Sorry, I was unable to read most of your questions because this was so heavy today. Someone just real quick said, you are correct. We can't find clothes we are looking for. Everything is mix up and hook up. Someone says, I'm looking forward to Saturday. All right. So yes, Latoya, listen, God's willing, I'm going to be there. I want to show my face in the place. And not only do I want to show my face, I want to be able to look for small businesses so that I can bring them in.
Oh yeah,
all right. That's what I believe in.
They will be there.
Okay,
And they will be there.
I want to know
in
about
large
their
number.
journey. I want to know
yeah.
about what brought them to where they and and how it is that we can help in Your Lane Life Coaching and Your Lane Talk Show. How we can help enhance or push them further so that they can actually get a piece of what everybody else talking about.
Awesome.
All right. So I
awesome.
want to be there to do that. So I'll be working and I'll be getting my consultation and everything done, my eyebrows done and everything the same time while I'm there. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Once again, I hope that you were empowered, educated, and encouraged today. Until next time, have a blessed evening, everyone.
Hey, what's up? This is Omi.
You found it.
Hey, this is Tori Kelly.
Yo, what up? What up? It's Wiz Khalifa.
Your #1 source for today's hits and yesterday's favorites.
Thank you so much.
106
And
hits.
what I forgot to say on the radio that next week we're talking about our face. We're talking about our facials. We're talking about how to take care of our because Latoya face on point. I don't know what she's doing, but I can't wait to hear her regimen because her face is the bomb. We're gonna have Natilla Saunders. She's an esthetician from Skin Solutions. So she'll be talking about face care products that we should be using Tune into that next week, God's willing. And thank you once again for what you've done. Oh, and Jamie placed something in the. Thank you so much. A consultation with Dr. Davis for hair loss at the Family Medicine Center is covered by your medical insurance. That's excellent. Otherwise, price depends on the length and complexity of the visit. From $175 to $250. Reminder: there's only one board certified dermatologist in the Bahamas. And that's right at FMC on Blake Road in Nassau. I'm happy to see you in Roxanne as well. That's from Jamie. Thank you, everyone. God bless you.